Well, hello and welcome to another episode of The Unlicensed Counselor. My name is Steve Moak. I am The Unlicensed Counselor. It is another beautiful day here in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, even though we had a dark night last night as our friendly Arizona Diamondbacks did not show up to the World Series. But hey, that happens. You know what? Tough to be disappointed when you had no expectation of even being there. Funny how expectations kind of play into how you view things. A little lesson to start off the top of the show. It was fun. Thanks to our Diamondbacks, players, staff, everything. It was great. Just a fun run. You know, wish we could have played a little bit better, maybe taken it to a Game 7. But hey, that happens. But as usual, this isn't a baseball podcast. But we can look forward to a couple things coming up. The Phoenix Suns starting out. It'd be fun to see how that little experiment goes. And then, as always, out here in the desert, the Waste Management Phoenix Open golf tournament coming up here. If you haven't been out here for that, highly recommend coming out and checking that out. It is quite the party. Did a lot of years on that may have contributed to some of the addiction stuff back in the day. I don't think I'm the only one as well, too. But beautiful time of year to be out here in Scottsdale, Arizona. As always, so grateful to be here. So grateful to have you all tuning in. You know, I've seen the numbers. They keep going up. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking the content. The follower count's growing up. I mean, it's cool. You know, we started this out as just a way to have fun and kind of put this unlicensed counselor brain to work and kind of sharing some topics in kind of bite-sized ways and really kind of being more solution-focused. Because a lot of the counseling approaches that we see today are just a lot of talk. And I like to kind of cut to the chase a little bit more. So again, thanks for sharing this with your friends. As always, feel free to message me. Go to theunlicensedcounselor.com. You can find out anything that we're up to. But before we get too deep into today's topic, and today's topic is actually one of my favorites, right? We talk about a lot of heavy stuff. We talk about addiction. We talk about a lot of serious stuff, and rightfully so. Today I want to talk about exercise. You know, how to get started, excuses, why you should be doing it, why aren't you doing it? Let's find a way for you to get out there and get going. That's my goal with the podcast today is if you hear this, maybe you're a couple pounds overweight, maybe you keep saying you're going to do something, let's see if we can help maybe give you a little elbow, a little shove, a little nudge to get going. But before we would do that today, I want to say big thanks, as always, to our continued sponsors, primarily ShareTech, right? So again, if you've heard this podcast, you know that I am passionate about behavioral health and specifically around using tools such as drug and alcohol screenings to help impact the lives of those who are struggling with addiction. There is a test, it is the ShareTech test that is used by the leading outpatient treatment centers in the world. This is the test that they send home with people, right? There's a reason that they use the ShareTech test and they don't say go to CVS, Walgreens, Amazon, and order a test. It's because our tests cannot be cheated. It is accurate, and it tests for the most substances. Drug and alcohol testing is one of the most important tools in prevention and early detection, and even in early recovery as well, too, to make sure that that person is staying on track. So go visit our friends at ShareTech. Pick up one of these at-home drug and alcohol screens. When you need to be able to trust the results, use the ShareTech test. And as always, our friends at EasySheets.club. Go to EasySheets.club. Look, like I always say, it's almost 2024. We're closing in. I think it was like 100 days. I just checked. I don't know if it was this week or something like that till 2024, right? You spent thousands on your mattress. Let's make sure that you're sleeping on sheets that are professionally cleaned, right? And let's have even a little bit more fun. For plans starting at $50 a month with Easy Sheets, you can rotate out the sheets that you want, try a different color, different style. You can go, we're coming up on wintertime, though, winter in the desert here is a little bit different than maybe winter in Wisconsin. Get some flannel sheets if you want. Have some fun with it, right? Go to EasySheets.club. Check out a subscription. Again, starts at $50 a month. You and whoever's sleeping next to you are going to thank me later. And my last plug for the Youth Drug Abuse Prevention campaign that I've been working on in my spare time, if that's really a thing, spare time. I don't have a lot of it these days. Follow us at Hard Stop Official. This is, like I keep saying, probably the most important work that I'll do. Addiction is just a beast of a disease, whatever you want to call it. There's only one proven way to never get that, and that is through never starting. So we are big on youth drug abuse prevention. Go to the stopstartshere.org. You can find more of our content and how we're approaching and kind of taking on this problem. So, okay, we got through all of that fun stuff. So If you listen to the podcast more than 30 seconds, you've probably heard me talk about exercise, running, lifting, hot yoga. I was at hot yoga this morning, playing basketball, whatever it is. I like to be active and I like to do things. I like to hike. I like to just be outside. I bike, you name it, I'm up for it, right? Now, people are like, well, how do you find time? How did you get like this? Part of it is a wiring thing, right? Like I just grew up in an active kind of way. So I am predisposed already. But that doesn't mean that I'm predisposed to all of the activities that I do, right? I made a commitment to myself this year. Remember, I got divorced, and actually it was probably a year ago, I think Halloween. So it was about a year ago, a couple days ago. And I made a commitment. I needed to do things different, right? You have free time. You're single dad now. You can't just sit around on the couch, or you can, but I don't really believe in that. I need to kind of step it up with my workouts. I'd let myself go, the business, the startup, the stress, the divorce, all that stuff. I wasn't eating great, wasn't sleeping great. Then you layer in the divorce, and it's just, you're in a tough place. So I did what I do and what I know best, and really the only way that I really, really know that works for kind of dealing with all these things is kind of dig back in and refocus on health and fitness. And one of the things that I made a commitment to that was actually new to me was rigorous weightlifting. And I've been an athlete, exercised, ran track, cross country, played basketball, all that fun stuff. Through high school before, drugs and alcohol kind of took out a couple decades of my life there. And I said, look, I wanted to kind of increase just from a physical appearance, from a health and active kind of lifestyle. And I made a commitment, and at the gym, and I'd had a membership to the gym, but I would go and, run on the treadmill, play basketball there, just kind of use the periphery of the stuff. And I said, okay, new year, this was January 2023. I wanted to start to do things a little bit differently. So I made a commitment to start going to the gym, and going to the gym with the intent of lifting. I didn't have to go hire a trainer. I know my way around a gym and some machines and free weights and stuff like that, but I just wanted to go out and start to change my physique. Now, the interesting thing with weightlifting, and this whole episode isn't going to be on weightlifting, that's just one component of it. I really want to dig into how to get started on exercise. But for me, weightlifting was a great example because it's not something that just came naturally to me. Running comes naturally to me. Playing basketball, going hiking, like that's stuff that I already wanted to do. But I said, I need to do something. I want to do something different. Let's get involved in weightlifting. So I made a plan, and you know what I did? I just showed up at the gym on day one, just like lots of people do. January 1, 2, 3, 4, that first week at the gym, New Year's resolution, folks. I wasn't why I was doing it necessarily. I had just kind of come to the point in time where it's like I wanted to take some action over my own look, physique, well-being, and all that kind of stuff. And I showed up at the gym. And you know what I did? I didn't have to hire a trainer. I didn't make a proclamation about it on social media or anything. I simply drove my butt to the gym. And instead of going to the basketball court or the steam room where I like to hang out, right, I went upstairs, which is where the weight room is. And what did I do? There's rows of machines there. And I wasn't trying to go over to where the free weights are and put up a bunch of weight and kind of do that whole thing. I thought, what's just the easiest way to get started? And I simply sat down on the machines and I did kind of a chest and arms day. And then the next day I did kind of a shoulders and back day. The next day I did a leg day, and I just started rotating between them. Now, when I tell you I started lifting, I mean, there was no special, the weights that I was lifting up were not that heavy. I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I wasn't over in the dumbbell section. I'm not 20 years old kind of trying to do that. I just wanted to start doing something that I knew I would do. And for me, what I found was just kind of getting into some of the machines and letting them, because it kind of sets you up for the motion and how you should do it. And that was a great way for me to get started. Now, the interesting thing on the weightlifting side of things is that it kind of messes with you, because you can do all this work and you're going to be sore and things will hurt and you'll have your little normal aches and pains, and you won't see any results at first. And then you go a week, a month, and then maybe in 2 months, you'll probably see a little something that maybe nobody else would notice, unless maybe somebody who sees you naked regularly might notice it, right? And then on month 3, all of a sudden, if you've been consistent in this, like, you're going to start to notice some results. And I bet other people will slowly start to notice some results. But the key to whether it's weightlifting or any real exercise routine that you get going is just being consistent with it, right? And one thing that I'll just say it, I pride myself in doing is going to the gym even when I don't feel like going, right? Look, I'm not into slamming a Red Bull. I'm not into pre-workouts. Maybe if you need a little cup of coffee or a sip of coffee or something, or a sip of Celsius, if that's what helped get you going, great. But don't feel like you need to supplement yourself into this thing and you got to jump into the creatine and the pre-workouts and the powders and the pills and the shakes and all this kind of stuff. There's this little known secret that you can do is just walk into the gym and start lifting weights, and good things will start to happen, right? I just think you see fitness influencers and Instagram and YouTube videos of all these things, and the supplement world tries to sell you millions of different things and why you need to do this, when really the answer is just in getting there. And that really is the number one thing, is getting there. Trick yourself, lie to yourself, whatever it is. Say that you're going to just go for the steam or just go for the hot tub or just go to walk on the treadmill. And once you do that enough times, you'll start to get in a habit. And then if you can just walk into that other part of the gym and do 1 machine, 2 machines, 3 machines, and then you're going to start to build these routines. And I really think that's one of the most important things, is just the consistency of getting to the gym, and especially getting there on the days that you don't want to do it. The number one thing that I found is really, like, any workout is better than no workout. I mean, this week I had a very busy week. We had my daughter, we had Halloween, we had trunk or treat, we had just stuff. Like, there was lots of stuff going on in my world, and my schedule got off. I like my routine. I have it scheduled. I know when I'm going to do this. I'm doing hot yoga, I'm doing lifting, I'm doing basketball, I just know what I'm doing. This week, not so much, and that's totally fine. But I had to work it in where I could work it in. And some of my workouts were my best workouts. But you know what? I got there, I did it. I did 60% of it, 70% of it, and then I got out and left, and it was better than doing no percent of it, right? And there was one day which is rare, I just didn't feel like doing it. I just woke up and I knew I had all this stuff, and I started into my day, and I was tired, and maybe I hadn't eaten right and just didn't sleep enough. Every excuse in the world that runs through your head naturally. But what I did is I sat my butt in my car and drove my butt to the gym and walked upstairs and started doing stuff. Maybe it wasn't the heaviest workout or the best workout, but I got broke a little sweat, and I walked away, and you always feel better when you're walking out the door. So just a couple little nuggets when you're doing this. But, here's just some ways to help get started. Let's think about, and a lot of people, it's weight related when you first want to get going to the gym, right? You want to improve your physique, your weight, and things like that. Use that, right? You use that as whatever it is that motivates you to get out the door. Let's also be clear and realistic about what your fitness goals are. I mean, we all see these things of, I lost 160 pounds and things like that. Okay, great. Like, that's going to involve strenuous diet, lots of cardio. I mean, then the weightlifting. I mean, there's a lot that's going to go into that. So let's be very realistic when you're starting out on this, on what to do. Or don't even worry about your goals necessarily right away, outside of the fact that maybe you just want to lose a few pounds and look better naked. Nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You want to fit in your clothes a little bit better, right? The jeans are a little snug here, and you would like to get back down into the 34s and not the 36s or whatever. Whatever it is that moves you, let's use that. And let's not get too complex on these things. The best workout, and I'm probably saying this a couple times today, the best workout you can do and set up for yourself is the one that you'll actually do. Like, I don't care what that is. I don't care if it's lifting. I don't care if it's hiking. I don't care if it's walking or swimming or biking or Peloton or Orange Theory or whatever it is, or just doing something in your gym. Calisthenics are kind of making a comeback. Go to the park and do some push-ups. Like, there are a million different ways to do this. I just want you who are out there to be honest with yourself about what you will actually get up off the couch and do. And once you start doing these things, I think once you see a little bit of the results, then I I like to see people, they get motivated. They're like, oh, wow, I lost 2 or 3 pounds this week, or wow, I can lift this up, or my back doesn't hurt, or I'm a little bit more flexible, you know? And that really also dovetails into finding exercise that you enjoy. I don't care if it's rollerblading. Like, get out, find something. Weightlifting is not going to be for everybody. I think it should be, just because there's study after study that's coming out that's saying longevity-wise, between cardio and lifting weights, like that is the answer to kind of going as in having as healthy a body as you can kind of put together. But I'll stay short of that and just say, let's find something that you like. The stories that I've heard about weight loss and people kind of starting their fitness journey that have started with walking are phenomenal. And if you're struggling to kind of get going right now, please just start with walking. Let's not go crazy. Let's not worry about the gym right now. Let's start walking. Let's do an hour of walking at whatever pace you need to do right now. Maybe it's cold outside. Maybe you need to do it on a treadmill. If you're somewhere nice, just get out and start moving, and let's start taking away a lot of the excuses that are out there. I see a lot of people that are like, well, I need to, stretch and eat right and do all these things. We'll get to all that, right? Like, what I want to do is take somebody who keeps thinking that they want to do something right now and get them moving. Like, that's what this is about today, is you're kind of stuck in that contemplation phase, and I want to move you along into kind of some action right now. Don't worry about the stretching. Don't worry about all these other things, what you're eating, the diet. Like, you can keep doing what you're doing for right now. We'll get to the diet later, but just start walking. Walk for an hour a day, put some classical music on, put on a great Unlicensed Counselor podcast episode, find another podcaster that you like. I was just listening to Andrew Huberman, and actually he had an interesting thing that was like, if you're having over 2 drinks a week, you're impacting your brain's function. I thought that was interesting. Two drinks a week, right? I mean, who is only having 2 drinks a week? Certainly not me, but just thought that was interesting. So find a podcast you like. Yeah, I mean, look, you got everything on your phone. Walk inside, walk outside. I don't care. Just get moving. Just anything that you can to kind of get off the couch. Let's not worry about post-workout and recovery and the shakes and the protein bars and the shakes. Like, right now, I want to take you from stuck to moving, right? Stuck to moving. If you need to get into a class in order to kind of do that, then sign up for a class. There's boxing gyms. One of the ways that I kind of reignited my fitness journey again was getting back involved in a boxing gym. Never been a boxer. I've done martial arts, for a long time in my life, but I wasn't a boxer. And it wasn't that I wanted to get out there and start, beating people up or anything like that, but it was a fun way. I made some new friends. It was challenging. It was interesting. It was kind of a stress reliever type of thing as well. And it was something that I had never done before that was just fun. And you know what happened? I lost some weight, kind of found the fire of exercise, and I made new friends that were now involved in kind of this thing as well, too. And actually, some of those friends are still my friends. That was probably 8 or 9 years ago. So just getting out there in the world and kind of trying things, you're going to meet people and kind of find some new activities. I like the walking to start. I like group exercises. Obviously, people have got Pelotons now. There's Orange Theory. There's other gym. And when I say gyms, oh, Steve, I can't afford, You can afford Planet Fitness. It's the Purple Gym, right? If you're not familiar with it. It's like $10 a month. I had a membership there. I had a membership there because my gym closed at like Sundays at, 6 o'clock or something like that. And I kept finding on the days when I didn't have my daughter and things like that, like it was nighttime and I wanted to go get a workout in, and my gym was closed. Just because it was $10 a month, I signed up for it just because I could go use it, once a week, every other week. It cost practically nothing. I mean, you 2 Starbucks that we're talking about, and you have a gym membership, and they've got every machine in there that you can do. And they actually have some other fun stuff. They have like the little massager water bed thing and some other, just basic stuff, but it worked, right? So there's no excuses out there for not being able to do it. And if you need to do that, just so you can get access to a treadmill, and again, maybe it's an elliptical machine, maybe it's the stair stepper. I mean, there's a lot of, try them all or have them on a rotation. Like, you can just find whatever it is that works for you. And if you're at a gym that offers a lot of these other classes, like a spin class, like a yoga class or a hot yoga class or squash or racquetball or swimming, start just signing up for these different things No one cares that you've never done it before. They don't care that you're a newbie. You can even walk up to the teacher at the beginning and be like, I've never done this before. I got no idea, but I'm looking to try some stuff out. And they're going to be like, awesome. Well, here, sit right over here. I'll help you. I'll give you some pointers on how to get started. That's just the easy way to kind of start moving in a direction from stuck to action, right? One of the other things that I found funny was I was thinking about this topic over the last week. It's like, I see a lot of interesting workout outfits, right? Especially on the lady friends that are out there. I mean, if you need to splurge on a new cute outfit to kind of get you motivated or going to the gym, go for it. Like, have some fun with this. I want you to have fun on this kind of exercise journey as well. Guys, if you want to buy the new pair of shoes to do it, or the cutoffs, or you want to work towards that, like, go have some fun with this, right? Get your AirPods, get your setup. I'm not big into you take a tripod into the gym and record yourself while you're doing that. That's a whole other level. But if you want to put some new clothes and gear together and show up at the gym looking sharp, go for it, right? Easy on the cologne or perfume, though. It's my only request. I get in there and it's like I'm trying to run on a treadmill and I'm sucking down whatever spray you just put on beforehand. If you could just do us all a favor and maybe save that for Old Town out here over my shoulder, right? Not necessarily so much for the gym. But look, have fun with it. Again, like I said, basketball starts, I like to get a new pair of basketball shoes, right? You want to go to the gym, you want to get the cutoff shirt, or girls, you want to get the shorts and the outfit and all that stuff. Go crazy. Like, I am 100% for it. Whatever gets you going. And when you do get there, talk to some of the staff that are there too, right? Hey, new here, not really sure what I want to do. Maybe they'll have a trial session with a trainer. Maybe you need to hire a trainer. I'm not big on that just because I like to just get in there and do it. And, I don't want to spend $50 a session for a trainer or whatever it is, but that's just me. But if that's what helps you do it, go for it. But go in and don't be shy to ask the staff that are there, like, hey, I don't know how to use this machine. Am I doing this right? Do I have it in the right settings? Because sometimes you need to adjust it. Maybe some of these machines are a little bit confusing. Like, just kind of put it out there that, hey, I'm new here. And don't be afraid to ask for help. If there's people walking around like, hey, can you show me how to do this? Or, I'm in a yoga class. I don't know how to do this. Do you mind just giving me a couple pointers here? You'll be amazed at how nice everybody is at the gym. And I remember when I first started kind of on the lifting side of my journey, I'd go in and that guy kind of looks like a douchebag, or they look annoying. And then you go there enough and you see all the same people regularly and like, oh, they're super nice. Now you can talk and you ask, hey, how do I do this? Or am I doing this wrong? Am I form? And you kind of make friends while you're there. And it's actually expanded my peer group. And is now a lot of my social circle has come from kind of the gym, right? And again, try and get into a routine. Right? Trying, if it's in the morning, if it's at lunch, if it's after work, if it's just on the weekend, if it's 3 days a week, whatever it is, try and get going in that direction. If it was me and I was saying, hey, you came to me and asked how I would get going, I would be saying, let's do 3 or 4 days of lifting and then maybe, 2 days of cardio. If you want to go 6 days a week or 7 days a week, I like to do something every day, whether it's lifting or cardio. That would be my ideal, is kind of 4 days of lifting and kind of 3 days of cardio. And that can be however you want to slice that up. And then take a look at the diet as well too, and go higher on the proteins and some salads and less on the carbs and sugar. That's my 2 cents. But let's just find a routine. Maybe it's not 7 days a week for you. Maybe it's 2 days a week to get started. Maybe, again, it's just walking. Whatever it is, let's just start to get out there, find a little routine, and start to get moving. The other thing I'd say too is let's go easy on the expectations when you're walking in the door on the gym here too. I see so many guys, especially, they come in and it's the weirdest damn thing. And it's of all ages too. It's like they put on all this weight into a machine and then they're doing these like really weird, fast, jerky kind of things. And I'm just like, it's like ego lifting, right? It's like, I need to put this on there so that I feel better. Meanwhile, they're the scrawniest dudes in the place, looking the worst form, that they're probably going to get injured and Like, go easy. lighten the weight up, do a little better form, and that's same goes for running or walking. Like, just go easy, set your expectations in the middle of the road. You'll build up to those things if you stay consistent with this, right? Look, if you got to use an accountability partner to kind of do this, or find a friend at the gym, or sign up with the friend so that you're now going, you'll find, especially early on, if maybe somebody's there pushing you a little bit that day you wanted to sleep in, and maybe they'll get you out of bed and do this. Side note, alcohol intake will impact your ability and frequency of getting to the gym as well, too. So, I mean, if your usual routine is Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, getting after it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings, or whenever, of getting to the gym, or even in the afternoon, probably decreases the likelihood of that significantly. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it makes your life a lot more miserable when you're trying to sweat through it. And then I got to smell your freaking alcohol coming off you in the hot yoga class the next morning. Love that. It happens more than you think, by the way, as well, too. There's a little mental part of this as well, too, and it's kind of that positive self-talk, right? Let's try and keep a positive attitude as you're going through this, or like, I'm just going to do the best that I can today. I want to get after it. It's okay if it's not 100% workout. Like, I'm just getting started. Let's keep kind of that positivity up, whether it's running, lifting, walking, hiking, you name it. Let's just try and not get down on yourself. If you got to cut your workout short, or if you're not feeling it, I totally get it. Let's also understand the difference between an actual injury, right, and something that's just uncomfortable. I see a lot of people bail on whatever it is that they get involved with because, I got hurt, or my back, or this or that or the other thing. There is always an exercise that you can do no matter what your ailment, right? And if everything else, just go to swimming. Swimming is as hard as it gets. I'm not a great swimmer. I do it on occasion, but there's zero impact on your body. It's a great workout. Just look at the, Michael Phelps and swimmers in the Olympics and tell you how good the shape those guys and gals are in. So, and that's really putting, I'm not going to say no strain on your body, but you can certainly mitigate it as well, too. And, I like to work out 7 days a week, but you can take a day off, too. You're not going to lose whatever endurance or fitness levels you have and things like that. So don't be afraid to kind of take a couple, a day off here and there. It's okay. I do like that once you get into a routine that you kind of stay with it, whatever that routine is. I almost get to the extreme other side of it. I get so entrenched in my routine that it throws me off when I don't do it. And I need to, be flexible. It's just like over the last week, I had a lot going on with my schedule, and I had to be a little bit more flexible with myself and not kind of beat myself up. You get into that zone of, I'm working out, I'm lifting, I'm running, I'm eating right, I'm doing all these things. And you want to keep it going. It's like you get off track for a day or two or three, and it starts to mess with your head. Hey, that's a good problem to have. But, I'd rather just see you start moving a little bit, set your expectations, keep your head on straight, and go easy on yourself as you're getting started, right? So, this isn't rocket science. Again, I just wanted to hit a light topic today on just how to get moving and get started from zero to some level of fitness, right? We'll get to the diet, and if you really want to see significant gains, you're never going to be able to out-exercise your diet. So diet is an even more important part of this entire equation. And there's just more research coming out on just a lot of the stuff that's being put in our food and things like that. We do need to be more conscious of it. But this is steps, right? This is steps. Let's just start moving. Let's get the body going. Let's get a little sweat going. Find whatever works for you. Again, the number one thing I want you to do is find an exercise that you will do. Don't worry about needing to go to the gym and everybody's going to tell you something different. Oh, you got to push this day and you got to pull this muscle and you got to do legs here and you got to do these tries. Like, don't get caught up on that. Do the easiest thing that you can possibly do that you'll know that you can complete. That's it. Like, find whatever that is and start there. And what you'll find, and what other people that I work with have found too, is that once they get into the routine and start seeing some of the results, then they'll start to layer in some of these other things like, wow, I've gotten this far. Now, if I really take a look at my diet And then we take a look at the diet and it's like, oh, wow, even better results, where it's like, oh, now I'm adding cardio. Oh, even better results. And now maybe I add a supplement in. But now we're 8, 9, 12 months into this thing. And now they've got really a whole new lifestyle than they had, previous to that. And it kind of does turn into a lifestyle. And the last little nugget I'll add here as well, too, is on the family front. One of the things that I think has been awesome that I do with my daughter is letting her see, and I don't just see, I take her with me to the gym. Yeah, she'll go to the daycare sometimes, but then we'll do daddy-daughter workout day. So we'll go back into kind of a quiet part of the gym. We'll do some sit-ups. We'll do some push-ups together. This is us doing it together. We'll do some jumping jacks. We're doing downward dog. We're doing happy baby poses. She's swinging on the rope, kind of pulling some of the machines and things like that. Is you're leading by example and kind of exposing your kids or loved one to this kind of active lifestyle. And I think it's a really underlooked part of kind of the whole fitness side of the lifestyle as well, too, is kind of the example you can be, not only to your kids and things, but to others as well, too. Because now that I spend a lot of time and people have seen, I'm probably down 20 pounds from when I was, probably a year ago. And people ask me often, well, what are you doing? And I just start to walk them through of how I got to here. But this has been, 12 months in the making, right? It doesn't happen overnight, and you got to be patient with yourself. But I really think it's so cool. I love doing it and having fun with my daughter and bringing her in. And she has a blast when we're back in the gym doing all her little fun stuff. But I think it sets a great example, and one that, hopefully she will, or your loved ones will carry forward in the rest of their life as well, too. So, hey, you know what? This is the Unlicensed Counselor. We're allowed to talk about whatever we want to talk about. And today, exercise, right? So if you hear this today, want to share it with a friend, that would be great. If you got somebody you're thinking about getting started on a fitness journey, don't wait till the New Year's resolution. Let's go ahead and jump on it now. There is no time like the present. Go for a walk tonight. It's beautiful out wherever you're at, I'm sure. Go and get started, and you'll thank me later. Look, my name is Steve Moak. I am the Unlicensed Counselor. Until next time, thank you very much.